Hello student, welcome to our MSc First Physics semester 3rd course, that is classical mechanics, and the subject code of this course is PHCT 112, and this is our first lecture on classical mechanics. So before going to start our actual syllabus of classical mechanics, we will discuss about the some basic concepts related to the classical mechanics and obviously related to the physics. So we will start with the some basic information about the course. So let's start. First of all, what do you mean by physics? We know that what do you mean by the physics because we are studying the physics from 11 to 12 standard. So, the branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy is nothing but the physics. We know that in a physics, in short, it is a nature of, it is a study of nature and its law, right? But also it include the study of the properties of matter and as well as the energy. So this is the physics. Now there are different branches of the physics. So the one of the branch of the physics is the mechanics. So mechanics is the, it is the one of the main branches of physics which deals with the study and behavior of the physical bodies when subjected to different types of forces or displacement and the subsequent effect of bodies on the environment. So in mechanics there is a study of motion, but which motion? The motion of physical bodies when subjected to the different forces, or sometimes it may be displacement or subsequent effect of the bodies on the environment. After applying the forces, there are many effects on the environment by the body. So all this study is comes under the mechanics. So this is the mechanics. Now there are different types of the mechanics. So types of mechanics, there are two main types of mechanics. First is the classical mechanics, second one is the quantum mechanics. So these are the two main types of the mechanics, and again these two types also divided into different types. So what do you mean by the classical mechanics and quantum mechanics? So classical mechanics deals with the study of macroscopic objects, while quantum mechanics deals with the study of microscopic objects. That means in a classical mechanics there is a study of the objects which move less than the velocity of light. That is a less than the velocity of light, or it may be macroscopic, or only macroscopic objects are studied under the classical mechanics. But in quantum mechanics there is a study of microscopic objects only. So these are the two branch of mechanics, and our course is only classical mechanics. So again the classical mechanics is classified into different types. So types of the classical mechanics. Classical mechanics further divided into three types, which are, first is the kinematics, second one is the statistics, third one is the dynamics. So these are the again types of the classical mechanics. First we see the kinematics. It is a branch of classical mechanics which describes the motion of points, bodies or objects, and a system of bodies or a group of objects without consideration of the causes of the motion. We know that when we apply force on a object, then there is a motion, or we know that there are many types of the motion, such as the translational motion, rotational motion, vibrational motion. These all are the different types of the motion. If we consider a particular object and we apply force on that object, then there is a motion due to force. So suppose we take this problem, but this problem we study without consideration of the causes of the motion. That means which type of forces acts on that object, so we are not taken into account. So this all comes under the kinematics. That means there is a motion of the objects or bodies or system of bodies or group of objects without consideration of the causes of motion. Second branch is the, so you only have velocity and acceleration without the forces, torques, which creates the motion. As we mentioned earlier, we are not taken into account the forces or torques which creates motion. We only taken into account that is a velocities and accelerations produced by the motion, or the velocity and acceleration is created by the motion. Now the second branch is the statistics. It is mainly deals with the forces acting on a stationary bodies or body. All the forces acting are in equilibrium. We know that Newton's third law. We will discuss in this video, but later. Newton's law is a action-reaction law. That means if we apply a force on a particular body, then this body again apply equal and opposite force. This is the action-reaction law. Like that, in a statistic, the force may be act on a body, but these forces are equal and opposite forces. That is, they are in a statistic equilibrium. That means these two forces cancel with each other. So the body still in equilibrium. And also in this type, when the body is stationary, then which force acts on a body are studied in this branch. Now the third branch is the dynamics. It is the study of forces acting on a moving bodies or body. That means when we apply force on a body, then body displaces or it may undergo in a motion. So due to which force this body undergoes motion are taken into account in a dynamics. Application of forces when they are in a motion. That means which type of force is responsible for the motion is taken account in the dynamics branch. So these all are the three main branches of the classical mechanics, that is a dynamics, kinematics and statistics. So we will discuss about three branches in a classical mechanics. Now the important concept or the important information, basic information about the classical mechanics are the Newton's law of motion, or we also call them as the three laws of physics, and these are the very important laws for the classical mechanics. First law is the law of inertia. A body remains at a rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by an external force. That means if we consider a particular object, suppose we take ball and we kept this ball on a table, and this ball which is at rest, this ball is at rest until there is no external force. So this is the law of inertia. That means the body undergoes in a motion when there is application of the force, or sometimes suppose the body is already in a motion but there is no any obstacle for their motion. That means the motion will be continued. When we apply external force, then the motion will be stopped. So this is also the uniform motion. That means suppose if we consider the moving ball, then ball moves with a constant velocity, so constant acceleration. So this motion comes under a, or this, in this motion the Newton first law is a valid, or it is the example of the Newton first law, or it may be also called as a law of inertia. Now the second law is a force is equal to mass into acceleration. A body's rate of change of momentum is proportional to the force causing it. We know that the relationship between force, acceleration and mass, that is F is equal to m into a. Force is nothing but the product of mass and acceleration, and a body's rate of change of momentum, we know that the momentum is a quantity, and which is the vector quantity, which is the product of mass and velocity. Here we have force is equal to mass into acceleration, and we know that P is equal to m into v, and also we know that the rate of change of velocity is nothing but the acceleration. Suppose we take the derivative of equation, that is a P is equal to m into v, that is dp by dt is equal to m into dv by dt, and we know that dv by dt is nothing but the acceleration, right? So we get the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force acting on it. So this is the Newton's second law. Third law, action reaction. When a force acts on a body due to another body, then an equal and opposite force acts simultaneously on that body. As we consider before, if we stretch a rubber, we know that rubber has a plasticity property, so it will be stretchable or it may undergo in a deformation for a certain time and again regain its original dimensions. If we stretch rubber, then we apply a force on that rubber, then if we pull or we release the force, then rubber gets its original position. That means there is a equal and opposite force are created, right? If we stretch string, then this stretched string again goes back to their original position after releasing the force, and this force act in a opposite direction, and which is a equal force, that is a equal to the applied force. So this is the action reaction process or action reaction law. So these all are the three Newton's law of motion, and which play very important role for the physics. So this is all about your basic information related to the classical mechanics course. In our next video, we will start with first chapter of our syllabus. So in that video, we will continue with the first chapter.